Yo people, I've been struggling for a long time with how to share our travels with our friends and family as expats of the United States. And one of the real struggles is how to do that well and authentically. And so I'm gonna give this a shot. And I'm gonna start with a place that's really just right in our own backyard. Naturally, we came back from vacation to battery problems, but it's cool, we're getting it fixed this week. Coming from Washington State and moving to Latvia, I was always super interested in the national parks. So today I'm headed out to a national park. It's called Kemeri National Park. It's the closest national park to our home in Jurmala. It's like, I don't know, we live at the far end of Jurmala, closer to Riga. So it's probably about 25 kilometers from us. It'll take me like 20 minutes to drive there. And it's a swamp actually, but it's super pretty. It has this cool little boardwalk trail that's well constructed, and the swamp is beautiful. I don't know what it'll be like today, but it changes colors in different seasons. National parks here are different. They're like really close to civilization oftentimes. I guess not all of them, but it's common in Europe. The national parks have like cultural sites, and they're close to like not just vast sprawling wilderness like in the US, but it's just hard to convey how dense civilization is here. It's like, since we moved to Europe 5 years ago, I think I lost cell phone signal once. And we were like way out on the coast of Latvia, kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's not common that you get remote like that in Europe. Like, Europe is just super dense. So there's just civilization everywhere. But we're also gonna visit some cultural sites. So there's a big park nearby, this old park, like from the early 1800s. And in it are some things like there's a water tower that we saw from the road driving by one time, and it just sticks out in my memory. It's like super imposing and big and really cool. And then there's this little island nearby that should be really cool to check out. I'm hoping that it's pretty to come back to for a date night at some point, especially when the colors are changing. Last time we drove by this park, the colors of the trees were changing, and it's just gorgeous. With all the yellows and reds and all the, colors that leaves change to. But there's this little island called the Islet of Love, or East of Jurmala. And then of course there's a couple churches and stuff nearby. Let's go check it out. Whoa, there it is. I told you, it's super imposing from the road. It's gonna be awesome. So I've made it to this Kemeri Resort Park. Kemeri is an old town, like from the 1800s. It was known actually for the bog, like dirt or whatever, that being really healthy. You like bathe in it and it heals things and whatever. And when we were driving by that other week I mentioned, we found this water tower, and it's just super pretty. It doesn't open yet, so I'll have to come back to go up and get the view of the area. So this church right here behind me has a pretty interesting story actually. It's the Orthodox Church here in Kemeri, and the roots of this area are super German. So actually in like the late 1800s, the community wanted to build a Lutheran church, and the Russian Tsar said no, because there was no Orthodox church already here to service the area and the people. And so they had to wait to build the Lutheran church until this church, the Orthodox church, was finished. And then the community was able to build the church they actually wanted to build. And here is the Lutheran Church of Kemeri. So this is the church the community actually wanted to build, and the Tsar had said no, they had to wait for St. Peter Paul Church, Orthodox Church. But now the community has their Orthodox church. It's the oldest stone building in the area. It is really pretty. East of Jurmala. Well, here I am. I finally made it to the top of this Milestiva Salinja. And as a side note, I also finally learned to say the word Milestiva Salinja? Milestiva Salinja. Milestiva Salinja. And as is normal, in places like this that are really beautiful, it's much prettier on the outside looking in at it than it is coming in and looking out. Finally occurred to me that Sala in Latvian is island, and Salinja is just making it cute and small. So you could really just call it the cute little island of love. National parks by definition are younger than the states where they live. So actually the youngest place we'll go is Kemeri National Park. I was young, but I remember seeing the Berlin Wall fall, which is sobering to think that of all the people I meet in Latvia, if people are in my age group or older, they all have personal experience with what it was like to live under the Soviet state. So originally I was thinking I was gonna leave Lily at home, but she just hates the drone. She goes nuts every time it goes up in the sky. So we'll see how this goes. But honestly, it just made me too sad to think of leaving her at home. So yeah, I brought her along. Lily. Well, like a lot of hikes, this hike just starts with a little jump through the forest. But it's pretty, it's a beautiful day out. You probably can't see it on camera, but out there's a ton of little fogs on the horizon. It's, I think the swamp's gonna be really pretty this morning. It's gonna be awesome.
See the end, but we'll see it through.
We finally arrived to the Kemeri boardwalk. There's like, of course, Latvian trail sign action. Lots of things about like geology and stuff. And here we go. If I remember right, the boardwalk is like maybe 3 kilometers or something. It's not long. This part, we're just kind of breaking out of the woods a little bit. And then it's gonna open up into the swamp. So hiking through the swamp, there's all these thousands of spider webs. It's clear this place must be full of life, and the spiders love it. Honestly, I really liked it. It kind of adds like a spookiness to that early morning beauty haze that's going on in such a still place. And then you reach this really cool tower. Sun came out and it is warming up, but it is beautiful up here. Ooh. So, Kemeri Purvis, Kemeri Swamp, really, really beautiful place. One of my favorite trails in Latvia. Super well established, like come early if you're coming, but you end up on this tower. Just these amazing views over the swamp. I freaking love it, can't get enough. these little sitting areas that are kind of dotted all along the boardwalk. Sometimes a bunch of them are full, but there's a whole bunch, so just keep on trekking and maybe you find one that's open. And time to leave the bog and head back into the forest. If you're still with me, I'd really appreciate that like and subscribe. It really surprised me how long it took me to put something like this together. But I promise that I'll put out more content like this as soon as I have time to sit down and do it again. This is Rex. Ciao. Ciao.